Oh yeah! It's time to break on through. Let's get some people in the house before we start breaking on through. There we go. Here they come. Happy Tuesday. Hope everyone's doing all right. I'm okay. Hopefully, at some point during this broadcast, maybe we'll get a visit from old Cactus Jack. I got him some treats here. He's eating right now, but man, when he's done eating, ain't enough. Oh yeah, I see y'all. I see you noticing some of the stuff I got back here. I'm gonna talk about that a little bit. Did I get the Sabu book? No. I need the Sabu book though. Mark Deal going back to work on Friday. Congratulations, pal. Hey, you like them shirts, huh, Hund? Yeah, those shirts come from Paul Bearer's Press out of Austin, Texas. Good buddy of mine named Craig Merritt runs that operation. That's his designs. He's got tons of others, so y'all need to go visit him. PaulBearersPress.com. I think it's .com, pretty sure. Great t-shirt, great quality, and Craig's a great fella. He was in the Bulimics at one time. But okay, we're getting a good crowd to get started here with. Not that I need to give you any introduction, but you know that I am the unimpeachable president for life. Now you listen to me. This damn internet craps out on me this week. You know the drill. Just wait a minute. I'll be back on, and we'll get going again. That pissed me off, man. Why should I, the unimpeachable president, have uncontinuous internet? I've been asking that question for about 5 years. But anyway. Yeah, man, this stuff back here, man, this is all a bunch of stuff I've gotten or accumulated. Well, the people have sent me here in the past few days. It's probably not everything. I don't know if you can see it all. How about that double DVD box set of Trinity Is My Name? Oh yeah, look at that Motorhead Bomber box set there. You know who gave me that? Biggie Stardust gave me that. He said he bought it for me before Armageddon. And you know why he's going to give it to me? He said he's just going to do it just out of the kindness of his heart. And for that, I will now sing to Biggie Stardust, Jeff Williams. I will now sing, "Thank You for Being a Friend." Thank you for being a friend. Oh, wait. The numbers are dropping like crazy. No, I'm not going to sing anymore. I ain't no Malcolm Tent. But you guys get the gist of what I'm trying to say here. Look at all that great stuff. Yeah, oh yeah. But yeah. Speaking of t-shirts, if you need some t-shirts done, like if you want to make a I'm going back to work t-shirt or something, Aardvark Screen Printing, Raleigh, North Carolina. And not only will you get quality work and service, you'll get it done by a former member of ANTiSEEN. That's old Greg Clayton's shop up in Raleigh, North Carolina. Yeah, you got all that stuff up there, plus this. Look at this. The Dina Sod sent me that the other day. One of only 2 in existence. let's see. Last week I talked about the recording of Murder Junkies with G.G. Allen. So I kind of backed up a little bit. I went back into the 90s to about 91, but when I left you before, we were at 93, 94. And let's see. But I'll tell you, I'm not really prepared today. I'm more prepared for next week than I am today. Next week, we're going to have to go back in time a little bit more. Because I told my wife just a little bit ago, I was like, I have no idea what I'm going to talk about, really. And she goes, we'll talk about the living in the Joy Adult bookstore. And I'm just like, oh, I need to take some notes on that. There's a bunch of stories I need to make sure I get included in that. But, you know, some of my bandmates have also said, you know, you need to write those stories down, but this will be the next best thing to it, because I don't write a whole lot anymore, but I don't know. I'm not a good writer anyway. I think I can tell stuff better than I can write it. What am I drinking? Let's see, right here in Sophia Loren, some good old hot hibiscus tea. And here in Godzilla, special guest Ultraman, some nice ice cold water. Alright. So yeah, next week I'm going to go back in time and I'm going to talk about, I'm just take a little sidestep, a little, you know, that kind of helped develop the band and us as people, some of the stuff we went through. And I'm going to take a little sidestep and go back to the mid to late 80s and talk about Joy Adult Bookstore. Yeah, I see you, John Bowman. Still rubbing my nose on a Matahari pinball machine slipped right through my fingers today. John Bowman's been rubbing at my nose ever since. Hey, John Bowman. Thank you for being a friend. Oh, nope, don't go nowhere. Don't go nowhere. All right. 1993. Me, Joe Young, Thomas O'Keefe, who will be here with you on Thursday, and Greg Clayton. So, that lineup covered a lot of earth. We went all over the place with that group. But we did, like, you know, little scrimmages all over the U.S. One in particular I like to talk about. It wasn't, I don't know if I would consider it particularly successful, but it sure was memorable. We took a trip down Florida, and it was us four with Barbecue Young, and this time we took along a young, starry-eyed youth who wanted to see the bright lights in the big cities, who wanted to live in the fast lane, who wanted to see what it's like being in a rock and roll band. He heard about it from AC/DC, and now he wanted to see it. A young Russ Ward, who would later morph into Mad Brother Ward, was our equipment humper on this trip and stagehand. I don't remember all the cities. I wish I could remember. I plan on having Greg on this show one day. And Russ is back at work. Russ works third shift. So, I mean, he goes into work. He actually works second and third. But he goes in, you know, at a time like He's probably just now getting up, so he couldn't be on the show with me. And plus, if we were both talking, we don't know how long this will last. It might last quite a while. But I'm just going to tell you about the ones I remember. How about that? Is that okay? Now, when Russ tells these stories, he paints me in this light like I'm always yelling at him, always grouchy, kind of mean to him. I didn't really see it that way. I saw it more as a preparing him for life. So yeah, we put him through the ringer a little bit. Maybe more so than most. But that was a long time ago. Maybe I don't remember it clearly. But I just remember us going down Florida and Tuscaloosa, Alabama. We played a few other. We may have played Hattiesburg on that run. I'm not sure, but I know for a fact we played in Tampa, Miami. Some of those Miami shows way back then, man, were like they were pretty rough. All the way up until, you know, the shows I was doing with the Murder Junkies in 93. In 93, and then I did more in 2003. 10 years later. But okay, so we end up at the some Florida theater. This is a big place too, and I can't remember if this is Jacksonville or Gainesville. I want to say it's Gainesville. There used to be a guy down there named Pat. Had a gigantic Godzilla tattoo on his back. I always look forward to going down there and having him show me that tattoo. I was real impressed with that. But we go down there and they're playing at this theater. It's a big theater, man. But somebody else is playing across town. Man, I want to say it was Green Day. That happened a lot back in them days. Green Day were, you know, on their way to being pretty popular at this point. And well, it turns out most of Gainesville decided to go have a night of happy-go-lucky, pogoing, high-energy pop-punk, as opposed to what ANTiSEEN was laying down. But you know what? They didn't bother us. Maybe it did a little bit, but bands, when you are in that predicament, there's one thing you got to know, man. If one guy came up to the door person and paid his money to get in, he did exactly what you wanted him to do. He knew you were in town. He paid to see the show. He came. He's at the show. Now what do? You go, good, there's hardly anybody here. Ooh. And just go out there and half-ass it? No. Man, if there's one person that paid to get in, you give it to them. Both barrels. Hi, baby. Now, I know that there's a lot of people that have seen a lot of our shows might say, Clayton, you were in low gear that night, man. Well, sometimes it be that way. Sometimes you just don't have it. You're just not getting it. But I'm telling you, what you got to do, though, if there's one person paid to get in, man, you give it to them. you give them the show. Oh man, there must have been like 15 or 20 people there in this gigantic theater. It probably held 1,500, 2,000. Big stage though. And I think this is the first time we started using Elvis's American Trilogy for intro. And man, the guy that was doing the lights and the sound, he knew we were going to have an off night, but man, he was into it. He liked us. He liked what we were doing, and man, he gave us the big light thing, and Russ was helping choreograph this whole thing with the guy, I'm pretty sure. But he did the lights with the horns, and man, we played a good show for those people. And I still get, occasionally we'll get emails or messages on Facebook from people, at those shows, like, man, I was one of the few people at this or that show, and, you guys tore the roof off of it, even though there was hardly anyone there. When I first started doing these, a girl wrote on one of these, I saw you in Nashville and you looked bored. I've never been on stage bored. I've been irritated. Been mad as hell. Been sick. Been sick as a dog on stage before. It wasn't coronavirus. But I don't know. I'm sorry, to you. I'm not saying you're wrong. I mean, if that's how you perceived it, then that's how you perceived it. But I'm just telling you, I've never bored playing. I love playing. And man, when you get that energy of the audience and the band, and it locks, there's nothing like it. Nothing like it! We had that that night in Gainesville, or Jacksonville, whichever town the hell it was. We had that. So we, went and did a few more shows, and there was some long drives on these trips, and this was the beginning. How you like any of you in bands, you always have some like inside jokes or some inside pranks and stuff that you do just to kind of make the time go by a little faster, on those long drives and stuff. Well, around this time, my brother and I formed the Gas Chamber Express. Now, I'm going to tell you something. All you Nazi hunters out there going, it's not a tribute to the Third Reich, okay? The gas chamber was a devastating finishing hold that I invented when my brother and I used to play wrestling when we were kids. He had bunk beds in his room. Those would be like the Nightwalker scaffolding or stuff, Pillows were chairs. And, we did it all. Like, it was just me and him, but we were commentating, wrestling, and, we were always doing, a David Crockett from Mid-Atlantic Championship. Fans! What you doing, fans? I know I'm going off a little bit. I'll come back to Florida. But see, I was a wrestler called the Smasher. And Greg was Nature Boy because he had blonde hair and he always ran around without a shirt. He's a little skinny fella. So, man, I got in, and I would do this thing they call punishing. I learned this from watching the Masked Superstar wrestle. You had a clear pin. You let it get to 2 count and pull them up. You ain't gonna go for the 3 count. You know, you do some more damage. And put him down for the 1, 2. Pull him up again, you know. Now you're the meanest guy in the world. Well, I did this because I felt gas building up in my bowels. So when it was time for release, I pinned my brother, took his leg like this, sat right over his nose, and let it rip. He coughed. He gagged. I wouldn't let him move though, because this is my new move, the gas chamber. Once you're in, you ain't getting out. So when the bell finally rang, which was one of us going ding ding ding, probably me because I was not being smothered. I stood up, you know, to get my victory. My brother starts coughing and gagging, and man, he just threw up all over the floor. Oh, I'm laughing like hell. He's crying like hell. He runs in and gets Mom, you know, brings her in. Jeb, what did you do? He has to go. He farted on my face. Well, Mom made me clean it up. But years later, when Greg got older and was a bigger cat, I took him on as my partner. And we became the Gas Chamber Express with our special guest manager, Barbecue Young. Fast forward back to the white Death Star that we took through L.A. 2 couches in it, a bed in the back, equipment under the bed. A regular living room chair was the driver's seat. We didn't care nothing about no damn seat belts or nothing back then. But Russ was kind of getting his Mad Brother Ward thing all toned up. You know, he may have already done it by this point. I don't know. You see, that's why I need him here to... I don't keep up with Mad Brother Ward history. I keep up with unimpeachable president history. So, we're in the car. The bus. And we're going down the interstate. And man, we are giving each other wrestling speeches, you know, until, you know, I started getting Russ and headlock, you know. And I'm not being mean. I'm toughening him up. I'm preparing him for life. Well, man, he finally snapped on me. Me trying to teach him. He snaps on me. He rips my sunglasses, my costly shades, right off of my face. He gets right in my face and crumbles them up. The lens pop out. They're not glass or nothing, but they just popped out. He just drops it at me. There! What are you doing? So, man, I did the... And you know the little piece that goes right there? The little arm that goes behind your ear? I took that and I ripped it off of the damn thing. And I grabbed Russ under the chin. Had his head like this, and I started raking across his forehead. I was trying to get some good juice going. I didn't get a whole lot. I got some little spots, but man, his head looked worse than mine. It was red, whelped scars, like raised up about a little fraction of an inch off his forehead, just going every which way. So everywhere we go, he's walking in, with all this going on. At least mine was all bandaged up or had a hat on or something, But we finally make it down to Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Now, I told this story on a video called Destructo Video, but I got it all wrong. I was wrong. They interviewed me after a show. How am I supposed to know facts after I've given it to the people? After I've bled a river of blood, after I've poured my heart out to the people, giving them all what they came for, how am I supposed to know facts? Not my job. Facts are not my job. Not after we play. So I told it wrong in the video. But now I know it. Because I'm calm. My mind is right. Here's the story. We're playing Tuscaloosa. We walked down the street to some Chinese joint. They gave us some buyout, and we walked down the street to some Chinese joint. It is okay to say that, right? It was a Chinese food place. But it's tiny. I think they preferred you order and go, but we there's a counter, a couple little tables over here, some college students over here eating, probably reading literature, probably drinking some hot tea or coffee. Greg gets up, goes to the bathroom. Now, the bathroom is beside the kitchen, a little hallway covered by a cloth where you have to move the things like this, when he walked on through. Well, where Russ Ward gets this idea, I don't know. But he gets one of those plastic trays, and he waits outside, still inside the restaurant, but outside the hallway to the bathroom. And Greg comes walking back, and Greg always makes an entrance, always moves the things open. We're walking like this, Man, as soon as he opened it up, Russ whacked the hell out of him in the head. Boom! Oh my goodness. Well, things didn't go well for Russ very shortly after that. Greg put him down on the ground and got him in the figure four. A real one. He wasn't working with him. He was really putting it on him. And man, Russ was screaming in pain. All the people in the kitchen come over the counter and they're all watching. The college students act like there's nothing going on. They're just trying to ignore it. They're just like, probably afraid they get pulled into it. They may have. So after eating a big old good plate of Chinese food, it might have been time to load up the gas chamber express. But that didn't happen. But Greg is screaming as loud as he can, "Look at it! Look at it, Tuscaloosa!" And Russ is patting the floor. Pow, pow, pow. Yeah, Russ submitted. So he went one-on-one with both members of the Gas Chamber Express during this one trip. And lost both times! We're the unbeatable tag team. So, we make it around to Tampa. And I don't know if that's the right order, but we're in Tampa. Big theater again. We're kind of big theater shy at this point. But this was a surprisingly well-attended show. And damn good crowd, man. We put on a barn burner that night, son. It's on video. Man, one day all this shit's gonna come out on video. Either we're gonna put it out or we're just gonna put it all on YouTube so everybody can see it and live it. Man, I got tons. You hear me? Tons of video. Which I gotta tell you something about a video before I get too far off, okay? But we're playing Tampa. And man, it's all cylinders are firing that night. Lots of fights in the crowd. Man, that's one thing about the ANTiSEEN following from 93 going into, the late 90s, man. The shows were violent. Sometimes it wasn't fun violence. Sometimes it was pretty serious stuff. This is one of those that kind of got into some serious stuff, but I think it got remedied real quick. But the thing I remember most about this show is Joe climbed up on top of the PA system. Now, he did this a lot, man, and sometimes he'd jump off the top. And I'd say more times than not, he fucked his ankle up. Man, he fucked his ankle up the worst I ever saw when we went to see Black Flag at Strider's concert hall back in 82 or 83, maybe 84, I don't know. I guess it was My War tour. Yeah, and they played Louie, and man, he did that shit again. He got on top of the PA and just jumped onto the stage. Man, that ankle went. We also have the Rock and Wrestling show from Philadelphia where he did that same thing, and that ankle did that number again. Man, he constantly tore that thing up. But anyway, when he jumps down off the PA columns, he takes out a pair of wire cutters. And he's sliding up and down the guitar, man, and that thing's wide open. It's making all kind of noise. And he starts cutting the strings one by one. Bing, bing, until there's none. And this pop, silence. And we ended the show. Remember, I had a washboard loaded with fireworks. This again is before we hadn't. I didn't learn the fine art of gunpowder yet. You know what? Maybe I did. Maybe I was just not. I hadn't experimented it with this particular thing yet. But man, there was I put a chain on it, so it was like a strap, and so I could wear it. I think I may do that again. I really like that. That worked out pretty good. But anyway, I caught the thing on fire. There's smoke bombs in it, and I started swinging that thing around with a chain, so it's leaving this like circle, smoke circle everywhere, and it's just blowing up. I had Russ behind Greg's drum kit. He was supposed to be lighting stuff off that was going to blow up and cause a bunch of smoke and sparks, and it didn't go off. Now, when I tell you this, you're going to understand why I was so hard on Russ. Why I had to be hard on Russ. He's taking matches, lighting the fuse of the things. There's a fan there. Every time he lights a match, goes to light the fuse, it blows the match out. So he lights another one. Now me, a seasoned traveler, a seasoned person that has blown a lot of shit up, would have lit the match, covered it with my hand, lit it, and then got my hand away. But the thing young Russ came away with that show, he says, "Man, you came walking by me," and we're like, "Thanks, Russ." I just, man, I didn't say it like that. I probably said, hey, thanks, kid. You're giving it your all, man. That's all I ask. 93 went into 94. Soon, Greg will leave. Now, I got to talk about that on an episode all by itself, because that was a big deal for me. And we also did the auditions where we got Barry. So see, I can't do that at the end of a program. I'm gonna talk about some stuff that I kind of forgot to mention. Do you remember me talking about Jeff Dahl coming to North Carolina to do the mix down and of Eat More Possum? Well, we booked a show for that weekend. Man, anytime we have somebody at our disposal like that, we get all of them out of we can. We didn't get enough photo opportunities with Jeff Dahl during that, which I regret. I wish we had done more. But when Gigi was down, man, it was photos all the time. You've seen all those damn photos. But man, Jeff Dahl came on stage and played with us at this show. Man, he did like, I don't know, 5 songs with us. You know, it's stuff that's in Jeff's ballpark. But I mean, but he did some ANTiSEEN songs. He did Animals, and he did, you know, we did 1969 and stuff like that. Man, it was fantastic, and I've got that on video or DVD somewhere, and I know exactly where it's at. I just can't find the thing where it's at. So I don't know, man. I've been talking to a lot of people that are going to be able to transfer some of this stuff for me once I find it. Man, when I do, I'm telling you, there's going to be a rush of stuff on YouTube. And me and Barry are going to start the YouTube. We're going to start an all-new ANTiSEEN YouTube page. We're going to put all the stuff on it that we want on there. And man, it's going to be some amazing stuff. I mean, man, this stuff is it's just been in tubs and in boxes and in folders, you know, for years. A lot of the stuff you've heard us talk about, or you may have heard in your town. Oh man, when they came, blah, blah, blah. Man, it's all on video. We got it all. We just got to find a way to get it out, and we will. Well, I'm sorry I wasn't more prepared than I was today. I'm not sorry. I just wasn't prepared. Goddamn. But if you got some questions, go ahead and fire them at me before I sign off of here. Don't forget, June 13th, ANTiSEEN live. Right here. ANTiSEEN live. And it's going to be free. Repost Tom Hughes' version of People Like You. Now, Tom played sick things. Did Tom do People Like You? Because I would sure enough like to hear that if that's the case. Have I ever thought of making a documentary? God damn, where the hell you been? I told you ain't gonna be no documentary. This is it. This is the documentary. Yeah, live in the moment. Live in the moment. But ANTiSEEN live, June 13th. It's gonna be free. The week before, we'll start doing promos and stuff. You know, maybe a little bit before the week before. We'll ask for donations because we're gonna hire a crew, sound crew, film crew. We're gonna try to make this as good for y'all as possible. So Just a little donation from everyone would be wonderful. You know me, I'm not looking to make a fortune. You got any questions? Next week I'm going to talk about my time at the Joy Adult Bookstore. And believe me, there is some damn stories. You'll understand where a lot of ANTiSEEN song ideas came from. There also might be some stuff on there that makes you sick. But such is life. June 13th. Where? ANTiSEEN Facebook page, Chris Gilbert. ANTiSEEN Facebook page live. 8 o'clock. June 13th. 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Oh, yeah. All right, I'm waiting. I don't see no questions. I guess y'all figured everything out by now. Oh damn, there's something I need. Oh yeah, Thursday. Tom O'Keefe will be on here, and he's got his thing figured out. So hopefully he won't have all that technical difficulty. Any cool Hellstomper stories? That's a show all by itself, Pat. I can't just pull a Hellstomper story out and leave you hanging, man. See, that's another thing. I'll have to break it down to all the stories with all the bands, man. We got Continue stories, Lime Cell stories, Hellstomper stories, Zeke stories. Let me see if I can get Cactus in here. Hey, Jack! Jack! You want a treat? Jack! Man, he's sleeping on his big cushion. He don't give a damn. A Greyhound does not care about going live. Will you reprint those old wrestling t-shirts? You know what? There's a company that is doing that right now. On the Mark shirts. They're on Instagram. They're on Facebook. Now the shirts that come out, they only come out for a little bit. So far they've used my chic design, my Freebirds, my Cactus Jack. I did a brand new Kevin Sullivan and Fallen Angel, and right now I'm working on I'm not going to tell you what I'm working on. It's going to be a surprise. Let me see. I saw some questions up there. What's the word on Jerry A single? Man, it's one of those things, man. They're trying to get that machine, that 7-inch press working, and they're waiting on metal work from one of the people that are making, the whatever the fuck they're called. They keep messing it up, and I have to have them do it again. So everything's ready to go. Once that piece comes in, man, it's going to be ready. I'm hoping I can tell y'all something here in about 2 weeks. About the Jerry A single. Let me see, what else? What else we got? You told all the Gigi stories. Oh, no! I haven't told all the Gigi stories. There's only been two Gigi episodes. There's at least 3 more. Oh, yeah. I ain't going to give them to y'all at one time. I know that's what you want, but you ain't getting them. I need that Freebird shirt. Yeah, you slept on that, Hoss. You ain't getting that, son. Please make big size shirts. Well, I'm not the one doing it. And tell me something. When you guys say big size shirts, like, what do you mean? Do you mean bigger than 3X? You got to tell me something. I've gone through this with y'all before. You got to tell me. Players Club in Monroe. Is it true that y'all went to the owner's house to collect the money? Yes. The guy that put on that show was notorious, from what I understand, for taking the money and running. Must have been a Steve Miller fan or something. Well, yeah, we got done playing that night. We had some dudes take us to his house. Man, we drove to the son bitch's house, and there's a bunch of people from the show coming with us. And this is a stupid thing to do. I wouldn't do this today, but We go to the guy's house, and man, the young brothers just, they'd go in the house. Barry finds the guy under his bed. The guy's under his own bed, and Barry looks under there and goes, hey. And Barry reached under there and pulled the son of a bitch out from under the bed and turned him upside down. Took the money out of his pocket. Dude was already lining up buying some crack with it. The guy's parents are sitting in there. They're just watching all of us come walking through one at a time. They didn't do shit. What were they going to do? Probably knew their son was a piece of shit. Probably happy he was getting his ass handed to him. I know I would have been. Fuck him. Any extras of the Mongrels for sale? No, Mongrels is long out of print. Man, but that may be one of the ones that gets the repress treatment. Because there were some bonus tracks that were only on download. But we may do, I don't know, I'm thinking about seeing if I can't talk old Mark at TKO to doing a 12-inch version of that. And including all the tracks. Some great stuff if y'all have never heard it, man. You got that middle zombie shirt. Yeah, Craig makes some good stuff. Make sure 2X. Man, come on. Come on, Bama Ben. You know we got 2X. Matter of fact, I ain't sent a 2X shirt to Bama Ben's house in Albemarle. Why don't you order some ANTiSEEN.com? You hear? Question. In today's overly ultra PC to the point of fascism US. Oh shit. I'll fuck something up, y'all. Okay, now I fixed it. Controversy. You know, I guess we don't really catch as much shit as we used to. But then again, a lot of times maybe we fly under the radar of a lot of these people, but you know, in one European trip, a little group of them ruined our entire tour. So I'm sure they're giggling like hell about that. But yeah, believe me, I know who they were. Let them come to America. I ain't even gonna tell you who they are, you know, because I'm not going to give them the advertisement here on Break On Through. Johnny Pink is with us. Hey, Johnny Pink. Seen you in a long time. So, Nikki, you want some Nikki and Russell, y'all want some 4XLs. Well, I'll tell you what. When you see designs that you like and you want to buy, you let me know. If enough of you want them that warrants me getting these big sizes, I'll get them. I'll get anything you want. Because, man, you know why people send me shirts? Because when you wear men's size shirts, adult sizes start at 2X and go up. Kids shirts start at small and go to XL. That's for kids. Adults, 2X up. I wear an adult shirt. An adult shirt is a good, big old piece of real estate to do some advertising on. Look at that. Everybody knows the power of Jet Jaguar when I come walking through the damn room. Oh, yeah. Let's see. Up to 5XL. Okay, Nikki. You know what? You got to tell me you want them. And when you want them, and I get some other people that want them, I'll ask, you know, hey, anybody else want your phone? If I get enough where I can at least buy a half dozen or a dozen, it's yours, son. Let's see. Yeah, everybody's liking the idea of repressing the mongrels. Hey, go to TKO's page. TKO, the label, or Cascade Record. Tell Mark Rainey, say, hey, man, why don't you repress that mongrels record that Clayton's talking about, you sorry sod. Let's see. What else we got here? Please play Richmond with Joe. Man, you know what? Joe Buck is back in the game. He's back in action. You saw the thing I posted on my page today from the desk of Joe Buck. I need to make something clear about that. Joe Buck has a new page. Joe Buck Yourself. Go to his new page. Let him know you're there. Let him know you all want to see him again, you know. He's letting old Josh out of Asheville book him, you know, and we're thinking about going with that as well. So, you know what happened when ANTiSEEN and Joe Buck was on Bucket City together. Oh yeah, lots of ANTiSEEN and Joe Buck shows, lots of them. Well, maybe if we get all hooked up with old Asheville Josh, man, there may be a lot more ANTiSEEN Joe Buck shows. There needs to be, because that's a perfect combination. Perfect. A perfect combination. Bianca Raquel, when I was little, what? Walking Dead shirt. Maybe they saw us when they're trying for the key. Man, you're trying to get in. I wrote a letter to you and you wrote me back. Well, Bianca, I really do sincerely try to get to everybody's questions. Sometimes when people write me on the ANTiSEEN page, man, I forget that there's an inbox on there. But thankfully, Mad Brother Ward and Malcolm Tent, and at this point, Tom O'Keefe, are all moderators on that page. So if you write the ANTiSEEN page inbox, somebody will get it and get it to me at some point. But I really try. I try to answer everybody. Sometimes it gets to be impossible, but I really try. Well, thank you for sharing that with me and remembering that. Jackie McGowan, you buy a 4X? Yeah. Here's Art Ettinger. There's Sir Barry Hannibal. What size you want, Barry? 19X? 4X? No, I'm just kidding. Barry's a fit airport special projects employee. So yeah, I see somebody. Who's that? Is that John Bowman saying that? Hey, yeah, John. Yeah, man, contact Mark Rainey. Mark Rainey on Facebook. Mark Rainey or TKO Records or Cascade Record Pressing. Hey, Mark Rainey. No, let's put out some, man, all this stuff I'm going to get ready to show you right now. Mark put out. Now, you know, I got a deal going, a open up the economy deal on ANTiSEEN.com, where if you buy 3 albums, 3 of them, at full price, you get 1 for free. All you got to do is write in a little message thing which one you want, or write me. A lot of people can't figure out how to do that. Or write me on Facebook. Private message. Hey Clayton, I just ordered blah blah blah. My name is. I want this for my free one. Bam, done. Look what all's available. Conqueror Worm, pressed on beautiful yellow opaque vinyl. GG and ANTiSEEN, Murder Junkies, brand new repressing, remastered, with color poster, sticker, pressed on doo-doo colored brown vinyl. Can you dig it? Live in Japan. The best live record since Cheap Trick at Budokan. The best live record since Kiss Alive. ANTiSEEN live in Japan. You gotta hear it. You gotta have it. There's so much shit in here I can't even talk about it. Southern Hostility demos. It is exactly what I just said. Now this is not a Mark Rainey production. This is a Digital Warfare production. This is one of them Zeke stories right here. Bobby G, who was touring with Zeke at the time, recorded our show in Austin, Texas, and we were in Denver, Colorado, and he just comes up to me, man, I got your next live album. I got it right here. He was right. He did. The complete drastic sessions, everything the first lineup of ANTiSEEN ever did. Unfortunately, all these fellas here, no longer with us. Last man standing right there. Here I am. Jeff Clayton, the unimpeachable president for life. Get where it started. This is where it started right here. The last studio album we did. And probably one of the best. Now, I know a lot of groups say that. Judas Priest says that. Everybody says it. When I say it, I mean it. I mean, this falls right in with the old ANTiSEEN stuff. I mean, what do you think? We learned like an extra chord or something? Now, this is only a 4-song EP, but man, it packs a wallop. It comes with a comic book where it's got ANTiSEEN on Planet of the Apes. Now, how could that not be fantastic? Goodness gracious. Honor Among Thieves on beautiful orange vinyl. Dying Breed EP. And I don't let that name fool you either. It's got 7 songs on it. That's not an EP. That's a damn album. And beautiful blue vinyl. And EP Royalty. You see that logo right there? ANTiSEEN logo that I made all ANTiSEEN logos from until probably when Phil Keller joined the band in the 2000s. So yeah, we changed the picture. We took an outtake of the original photo session and superimposed it on the extended version. See, looks just like the back of Royalty. Got some extra songs pressed on hot pink vinyl. You're a real man, you ain't afraid of hot pink. I don't know, let's see if we got any more questions, and then I'm going to get on one about you. Let's see, we ain't getting questions. I'm getting a bunch of damn stories on here. But you know, it's great you guys are all talking to each other. That's good. Point, okay. Yeah, playing with Joe Buck in Johnson City, man. I love playing that club in Johnson City. The Hideaway. I love that club. Let's see what we got here. Skeleton Pecker. Yeah, that's the group we used to play with up there. Skeleton Pecker. Yeah. That's right. ANTiSEEN kickstarts the economy. Listen, folks. I'm just seeing a bunch of statements. You guys go ahead and talk amongst yourselves. Take advantage of this deal now. That's 4 albums for the price of 3, son. It's only going until June 1st. The June 1st, this offer's off the table. You want 4? You got to buy 4. So, get it. Hit it. June 13th, ANTiSEEN Live right here. ANTiSEEN Facebook page. Live, 8 p.m. Thursday, Tom O'Keefe will be with you again. And on Sunday, the return of Malcolm Tent. I got some snacks here for Cactus Jack, but man, he don't care. He's not interested in being on a Go Live. But I'll see if I can't get him in here on one of these shows. Great, he's a great fella. But until Tuesday, I'll be back on Tuesday. Now once Tom's done with his broadcast on Thursdays, then maybe I'll do some Tuesday and Thursday weeks. Okay. Let me know if that's okay with you guys. I listen to the people. But you just remember that it is time to break on through.